your first outdoor?
Yeah. You're opening music, by the way.
What?
You're the opening music.
I am.
Yeah.
News to me.
Like, you know how everybody's just kind of listening in?
Yeah.
So,
Well, he didn't tell me that. You mean he wants me just to play like some kind of background stuff?
I mean, it might be helpful.
Because we don't have the recording.
Oh, we don't.
I've just assume a pretty traditional order.
Yeah, I made one Joseph kind of. I'm ready.
Is there a Shalom Aleichem or?
Yes, Shalom. Where's Randy?
He's
Randy?
there. He's here. Schmoozing.
Debbie Friedman, Shalom Aleichem. I haven't done it yet, so just do it for the way it's ready to do. All right. Can we do the Mondo LA? Do that one. If you want, sure. No, just do it. That's fine. The guitar amp isn't plugged in, but we'll have to do it. I mean, it's not gonna. It'll pick up on my mic, I guess. Are we live? Huh? Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Sorry for the couple-minute delay. We're just first time outdoors in over a year, so tweaking all of our systems. This takes a little bit of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of time.
So Shabbat Shalom. It's good to be with you. Let's just kind of take a deep breath. Make ourselves present in this place. It was really warm when we started to set up at 4:30, but it's beautiful right now. So just to enjoy the sun has now set behind the building. It's not set, but it's behind the building. And we are going to begin. Generally, just so people know, when we're outside, generally for the beginning of the service, the early part of the service, you have better visibility. We'll see how the new lights work as we go through. So sometimes later in the service, you can't read your book. That's okay. We'll just go with it. All right? So whatever it is, it will be, although these are new lights, so we will see how they work. And we're going to begin on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Da 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 da, ya da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, da. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet. Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Akadosh, Baruch Hu, Akadosh, Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Akadosh, Baruch Hu, Akadosh, Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Akadosh, Baruch Hu, Akadosh, Baruch Hu. Everybody, yada-dai, yada-da-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, dai-dai-dai. Ya-da-da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. Seitchem, Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Akadosh, Baruch Hu, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Yadadai, 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 yadadai,
We turn back to pages 2 and 3 in our Siddur. I'll ask everybody who can comfortably do so to rise. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. They blow out outside.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We turn to pages 20 and 21. And before we sing Lecha Dodi, we take a few moments to reflect on our week, on its challenges, and on its blessings. Just a moment on each day. And then we'll come back together and welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, as is our custom, for those who can comfortably do so, we'll rise and face, in this case, the parking lot from which we came, to welcome the Shabbat presence into our community, and the Nishama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us on Shabbat. And for those of you at home, invite you to turn towards the doors of your home to bring that Shabbat spirit into your space. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lehekapela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 b'nei Shabbat lehekapela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad hishmeanu El Hamiuchan Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shem Multiferet Ve'letchila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Le'kapela Lecha Dodi likrat kalla yalala 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 bene Shabbat v'kabela Bikrat Shabbat v'kuven elcha ki mekor habracha Meirosh mikedem Mesucha Sob ma'aseh b'machshava tchila V'chadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat v'kabela V'chadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat v'kabela
Verse 5.
Itoreri, Kibaore, Kumeori, Uri, Shidaveri, Kivod Adonai, Allah Yechlikla, Lekadodi Likrat Kala, Yalala, 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 B'nei Shabbat, V'kabela. V'chadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat v'kabela.
Rise if you could comfortably do so.
O'i v'shalom ateret bala gam simcha umetzola toch emunei am segula Voi chala Voi Lechadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat v'kabela Lechadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat v'kabela.
We're going to continue with Chatzi Kaddish, which you will find on page 26, and Lena Diaz will lead us.
Ready and go.
Yitgadal v'kadash shemei rabba
Amen.
Be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yon mechon Uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala Uvisman kariv V'meru Amen Yehi Shemei Rabba Mivarach Le'olam U'omei Almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'ishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitalev V'yithalal Shemei Dekudisha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran Ve'alma V'meru Amen.
Let me say the word first. We continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 28. I'm just going to read in Hebrew Baruch Hu at 1, 2, 3.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Praise Adonai to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai to whom praise is due now and forever.
Steve.
Lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai 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 la la lai 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 la 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 lai. la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach leolam vaed.
Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamidim lo chaleinu le'olam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu V'Ruch Shemo.
Amariv, Aravi.
Amen. Shema Yisrael, page 34 and 35. So just reading Hebrew first.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Hero Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol avavcha uvchol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher nochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam Beshivtecha, bevetecha, uvleftecha, vaderech, ushokbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot, aliadecha, vehayu letotafot, beinenecha, uchtavtam, al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kedoshim, leeloheichem, ani, Adonai Eloheichem, asher hotzeit yetchem, meretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem, Elohim, ani, Adonai Eloheichem.
Adonai Eloheichem. Amen. So now we turn to page 40 for Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom.
kamocha ba'elim Adonai vi kamocha nedar b'hakodesh nora tehilo hosei pele molekutecha raubanecha bokei ayam Livnei Moshe u'Miriam Seli anu le'amru Adonai yimlo le'olam va'ed Yay Yalla la 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 Yay la 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 Yalla la 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 Yalla la yalla la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya no na yimlo la la va'en Kif Adonai et Yaakov ugolo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Gal Yisrael.
So as the sun is setting, I actually get the sunset direction as I look this way. And you may know that I came home less than a week ago or so from camp. So last Shabbat, I came home from camp. Last Friday, I was still there. And every evening as campers get ready to go back to their cabins, they sing Shema, and they sing the words of Hashkivenu, that God protect us, right, as we go to sleep at night. And as we sing these words, we hope for peace upon us, upon the Jewish people, on all the world. There were some, I don't know, games that opened today someplace for people who are interested in those things, and there is a hope, one that we haven't achieved, but that the Olympics are, in a sense, ways to interact with other people and to help person to person make peace, greater peace, right, in this world. And as we ask God to shelter a sukkah over each of us have opportunities daily to shelter those around us with peace, to bring them a sense of calm, to bring a sense of protection, to offer kindness and love, and each of those ways we can help to bring that Sukkot Shalom in partnership with God down to earth. So Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ushmo Tzetenu Uvoenu Ufros Alenu Sukkot Shlomecha Ushmo Tzetenu Uvoenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Amideinu Shomreinu Lechayim Baruch atah Adonai Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim
No work on Shabbat. We give thanks for Shabbat, for our opportunity to pause, to take a breath, to reconnect. Join in singing Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat laso et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat laso et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uve'yom ha'shvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
We turn to our Amidah, begins on page 46. I'll ask everybody who can comfortably do so to please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips so that I may pray to you with all my heart. Baruch
Page
atah Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon. Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot Ve'imachot, U'mevi Geulah Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezarat Sarah.
Page 50.
Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memid Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua Eneman Atal Chachayot Hakol. Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch Atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please continue silently with the text of your own heart or the words of the prayer book through 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. They wait another second or so. Shabbat Shalom. So nice to be here on this beautiful, very pleasant evening. The words of Psalm 19, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, O God, my Lord and my rock and my Redeemer, have been set numerous times by various Jewish composers. They're a particular favorite. So obviously occupying this point in the service, I thought I would bring out a old favorite that I have played exclusively for the outdoor services. The composer is Raymond Smolover, who was a cantor for over 40 years at Congregation Kol Ami in White Plains, New York, for 40 years. So he was a prolific composer and pedagogue and big name in the field of Jewish music. He passed on about 10 years ago. He wrote this particular setting of May the Words, Yihi Leretzon, with two parts in mind. Unfortunately, I don't have the second part to play along, so I'm having to consolidate it into one part. So if you'll beg my indulgence, I'll try to attempt it one part keyboard solo, May the Words by Raymond Smoliver.
Thank you, Randy, and thank you, Helen, for helping us out. Everything's a little more challenging and out here with the wind and the stuff, trying to do that, so thank you. So we are in more than one place this week. That may be true for most of you much of the time, that you're not fully present in any one place. But what I mean by that when I say we're in more than one place this week is that we have our weekly Torah portions, and this week's Torah portion is Pinchas, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. And then there are sometimes things that are set calendrically that aren't part of the weekly Torah portion. And so this Shabbat is also the first Shabbat of destruction. I know that sounds uplifting, but we have 3 Shabbatot that lead toward Tisha B'Av, toward the 9th of Av, which is really a Jewish day of collection of the calamities of the Jewish people, right? It is said that both the first and the second temple were destroyed on the 9th of Av, but the rabbis also, everything else that happened bad in Jewish history, the rabbis say also happened on the 9th of Av, or they observe it, commemorate it on the 9th of Av. And it also tells you something else, which is where we are as we move toward the new year, because there are 3 haftarot, 3 prophetic sections of readings, 3 Shabbats of destruction, and then Tisha B'Av, and then 7 Shabbatot of consolation as we move toward the new year. And of course, this year has been a incredibly painful and difficult year in many places in the world, and especially for the Jewish people. And so, perhaps we feel these down weeks a little more profoundly, and perhaps we need even more those weeks of consolation as we move toward Rosh Hashanah. This week's reading is named after Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, contains enough different topics for at least 5 sermons. And so, hang on, here we go. No, just kidding. We learn that Pinchas is zealous for God, so to speak. He's he destroys, he slaughters people who are offering avodah zarah, who are offering sacrifice to other gods, and not somebody who I would emulate in my life. And the rabbis themselves are trying to figure out what to do with Pinchas, because even to them a long time ago it seemed difficult, because the Torah seems to grant him permanent priesthood for himself and his descendants, perhaps because of his actions, although some of the commentators may say giving him a role and a job that says this is your bounds and you don't go outside of this might have been a way to control his zeal for some of the rabbis. And I'm not talking about that today. We witnessed a census of the Israelite people, the first one in 40 years, to determine if after those desert years there are enough fighters to take over the Holy Land. Remember, there was a big census at the beginning, how many people came out of Egypt, and we needed to know, and now a big census before we conquer the land. And then something very interesting as we head into, election season, or perhaps even with the events of this last week, we see an aging Moses designate Joshua as his successor. So, and then we read some descriptions of offerings and various things. And Joshua, the words that are given to Joshua are chazak ve'ematz, strength and courage, as he moves forward as leader. And then there's another story in here. Between these contrasting sections, we find a story about some women in our text, the daughters of Zelophehad, who present their case to Moses. The daughters of Zelophehad came forward, and they stood before Moses, and they said, "Our father died in the desert, and he has no sons. Give us a holding among our father's kinsmen." Moses brought their case before the Eternal, who ruled, "The plea of the daughters of Zelophehad is just. Transfer their father's share to them." So what do we have here? We have 5 sisters, no brothers, right? Everything is land-based at this point. You have an agricultural system. Your ability to support yourself comes from the fact that you have land as part of your clan. And their father dies, and they want to inherit the land. They don't have a system in Jewish law at this day that women could inherit land. It's supposed to go to the son. And so they bring a case. And in their case, they win. By the way, it's not a case that right then is now women are equal, right? It's only if there's no son or brother or anything else, right, that's there. But it is a place in which a grievance is brought and progress is made, right? We are moved forward. So these 5 sisters are included among the Tanakh's most significant women. For in an era when women were excluded from the power structure, when sons were given precedence over daughters, they advocated for change. Now, now meaning then in the Torah, I don't mean now, but if a man dies without sons, his estate should not pass to other male relatives, but to his daughters. Moses, faced with this difficult issue, turned it over to God, who not only ruled in their favor, but decreed, if a man dies without leaving a son, you shall transfer his property to his daughter. Zelophehad's daughters demanded a paradigm shift that God deemed just. Thus the Torah specified that the daughter was next in line, not the father of the deceased and not his brothers. Today, of course, all can inherit property, but the ruling in favor of the five sisters was, as it is today, an important shift that codified in the Torah and affirmed in the Talmud. That was codified in the Torah and affirmed in the Talmud. It took another paradigm shift, however, to grant parity to daughters and enable them to share equally with their brothers. One of the Talmudic sages, Rav Papa, raised the question. So this is, in the year 500 or so, still a long time ago, right? And Rav Papa raises the question. He says, why can't they just inherit just the same way that any other child would, male or female? Unfortunately, Rav Papa is dismissed by his contemporaries at the time. But one of the beautiful things about our rabbinic literature, about the Talmud, is that these minority opinions are preserved. We know that Rav Papa raised the question a long time ago. He obviously didn't live to witness the change, but his questioning of the practice prevalent in his day is a challenge to all of us to evaluate contemporary practices and customs when they seem to be in conflict with morality. At the turn of the 20th century, women were not eligible to vote, nor could married women own property in their own name. They could not hold public office, and their employment opportunities were by and large limited to being teachers, nurses, secretaries, and nannies. As the century evolved, women gained the franchise, their employment opportunities increased, they were elected to public offices, not yet to the highest office, and former male-only strongholds gave way to women. Universities, medicine, law, and the clergy. If we think about the rabbinate, when I grew up, when I was young, almost all the rabbis I knew were men, right? By the time I became a teenager, there were more and more female rabbis. Today, if you go to an ordination at one of the liberal seminaries, the Hebrew Union College, where I was ordained, so there are more women ordained each year than there are men. So there's been a transformation. And it's not really just about who holds those positions, because different people ask different questions and bring different life experience to what's there. So the presence of large numbers of women in the rabbinate hasn't just changed the rabbinate for women, but it's changed the rabbinate for men who are in the rabbinate as well. The expectations on the families of clergy have changed over time, partly because they thought it very fine to expect all sorts of things of rabbi's wife. But when the rabbi was a woman, they kind of said, we can't really expect all this stuff of a rabbi's husband, right? So, and then that changed for rabbi spouses, no matter their genders, right? So people bring new experiences, and as people come in, they ask new questions. And that helps to shape the future in all sorts of new ways. There is no one success that can be viewed as a final step in any struggle for equality. We've talked here primarily about women's equality, but we could talk about LGBTQ equality or racial equality or all sorts of other kinds of things that we struggle with in our society to do better. There's always another moment waiting to challenge the limits of the status quo. So as we think about the daughters of Zelophehad, who were willing to ask the question, to demand something for themselves at a time where it was unthinkable that they might ask that for ourselves, and who just began a transformation that we're still working on today, reminds us how important it is for us to use our voices to ask those challenging questions and to take our place in our world. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn to page 253 as we turn our thoughts to all of those in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit.
Holy One, who blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem V'Haksikam Ulrabeotam V'Yishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema Refuat HaNefesh Refuat Haguf B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their name.
We ask for blessings upon Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosin Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Robert Strober, Charita Rezadeh, Joel Beasy, Gloria Foster, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Found Gerard, Jan Marcus, Marla Fregoso, Al Shapiro, Jeff Nelson, Robert Waldman, Barry Gustafaro, Udit Gratz DeLang, Audrey Kubel, Deborah DeLang, James Stead, Rita Elias, Stephen Gilbert, Sharon Zaki, Nell Barron, Oliver Holland, Bill Hughes, Ed Means, Stephanie Holland, Stan Stein, Virginia Guzman, Suzette Guzman, Marilyn Rudin, Claudia Phillips, Kenneth Phillips, Sandy Gunn, Ron Gilman, Julie Ben Simon, Eric Baldwin, Rabbi Jules King, Faye Bernstein, Abby Binstock Moore, Carol Blitz, Sandra Dizengoff, Cheryl Mosley, Jeff Blackie, Hannah Nelson, Mike Friel, John Ramirez, Brenda Gershman, John Foster, Joel Calderwood, Barry Weisband, and
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
I'd like to invite David Geller to come forward and share a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the board, thank you for being here, both in the sanctuary and online. Todah Rabbah to the rabbi for leading our service in such an inspiring way, and to Cantor for providing richness in voice and music. Thank you to Randy for his lovely piano pieces, and to Sean for helping out with all the technology. Thank you to our TBI congregants providing the oneg for tonight. And I'd also like to thank Kylie as a greeter, and as well as Sharon, Beth, and Judy. And after the service, we gather in the social hall or out here, I'm not certain, for Kiddush, moti, refreshments, and conversation. Please take this opportunity to get to know someone new, which will help us continue to build our warm, personal Jewish community. We have a busy and engaged community. Find what interests you in our weekly update on the Thursday email, as well as the Kehila, and you can also find more information on the website. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Turn now to page 282, in the middle of the page. For Aleinu L'Shabeach. Invite those who can comfortably do so to please rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol, Latet Gedula Liotzer Breishit, Shelo Asanu Kegoye Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kemishbechot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We remember the recent deaths of somebody who was once death of someone who was once connected to our congregation, Suzanne Freeman Laszlo, and the daughter of a congregant who's deceased, Susan Laurie Brewer, daughter of Bela Pasternak, who passed away. We remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Harry Addis, Meyer Asher, Maury Baker, Sheila N. Kaloff, Harry Dizengoff, Elizabeth Amanda Ewing, Esther Grossman, Etta Jones, Sarah Solo-Levitch, Jean Levin, Sarah Nathan, Samuel Rizik, Leon Salter, Nathan Schulman, Rose Schulman, Bella Schulman, Marion Vihone, and Nathan Zuckerman. If you're remembering somebody on this Shabbat, would like to share those names with the congregation, please feel free to do so as I come by your row. If you're in a time of mourning or observing a Yortzeit on this Shabbat, I invite you to rise. I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Again, Kaddish is on 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon v'yomechon, Uchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagalau vizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dukudusha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shmaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Last stanza, 321, Biyado.
Be'ado avkiruchi, be'nishan ve'ahira, be'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira, be'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira. My soul I give to you.
My spirit in your care.
My spirit in your care.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Hold me in your hand.
Hold me in your hand.
Draw me near.
Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand.
My soul I give to you. My soul I give to you. My spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Biyado avkid ruchi, בידו אף כי רוחי והייתי שם והעירה הייתי שם והעירה ואם רוחי גביעתי ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא. For those of you who joined us from home, thank you for being with us. For all of you out here with us on the lawn, thank you so much for being here with us on this Shabbat under the stars. I'll ask a few things of help from you to bring your Sidurim and put them back on the cart over there so they can go back inside. And our oneg and our Kiddush and Motzi will be inside, so invite you to join us inside. Shabbat
And,
Shalom.
I just want to add a couple of words of thanks. A special thanks to Sean Peterson for helping with the technology and getting this on our Facebook and YouTube channels, and also to Juan Montalvo, who is here in the heat of the afternoon helping us to set up. In case you were curious, it's really beautiful out here. So if you're watching online, we have a huge group online tonight, I noticed. Please come or consider coming to join us the 2nd and 4th Friday nights of August, and then the first Friday night of September. It is really, really beautiful to be here, and it would be made even more beautiful by your presence here if you're able to do so. And tell your friends. It's open to everyone who wants to experience Shabbat with us here at TBI.
Shabbat
All
Shalom.
right. Shabbat Shalom.